Hello, hello, hello. And how are you today on this beautiful Saturday? Summer. Are we in summer? Did we have first day of summer yet? I don't know. I've lost track of time, but there is a beautiful breeze that is blowing outside, and I'm enjoying my day, and I hope that you are. Welcome to Conversations with JR. I am your host, JR Floyd. I am here to heal people through the single power of a conversation. And today's conversation is centered around building relationships. I'm not a relationship expert. I'm not a psychologist, nor am I a social worker. I am a person who have had various experiences in life. I have written about them in books. I have talked about them on my YouTube channel and my podcast and on my Facebook channel. And today I would like to say to the men and women out there, because usually I address women, but I am going to address the males in this talk today. Relationship 101 from the beginning. You cannot build a relationship like you build the bear. You remember that store? You go in there. I think they still have them around. You go in there and you pick a bear and you build what you want and you pick the pieces and you put it together and you go on and on and on until you have your idea, the idea that was in your mind. You have that idea for your bear. So they call build the bear. And what I have experienced and what I think a lot of people are experiencing is that they think that they can build a relationship like you build a bear. You do build relationships over time, but it's not about picking a person apart and then replacing it with the parts that you want. You either going to come whole 100% standing in front of the person that you have accepted to have a relationship with or engage in trying to build an intimate relationship with. And if that person is not 100% whole, and I don't think these days no one comes 100% whole because we all have parts of us that have been broken, weakened, torn down, trust issues. There's a lot going on with relationships because they're not what they used to be. A lot of people have hidden motives behind why they approach another person. And sometimes it's not to build a relationship. So this conversation is for the people who want to build the foundation of an intimate relationship. The person that you're trying to build an intimate relationship with and a future with is standing before you as they are. Over time, there are going to be compromises. There's going to be push, pull, give and take, understanding, misunderstanding. I believe that is all how you handle the challenges of the relationship. Do you really want to be in this relationship? Do you understand the original reason why you are connected to that person and want to continue to be connected to that person? And please don't say it's cheaper to keep her if you're married. Please don't say I'm staying because of the kids. Please don't, all those ridiculous reasons. I'm talking about people who are truly connected to one another emotionally and that are connected to working out the trials and tribulations and the ditches and the pitfalls and the valleys of a relationship. There is a commitment. Are you committed to yourself, working on yourself? Are you committed to working on the relationship? Is the relationship a priority to you? Is there open communication? Are you hearing what is being said to you and not what you want to be said? Is there a lot of yelling and screaming and calling each other out of their names and breaking into telephones and scrolling and suspicions of cheating and all those kind of things? If that's going on, then you got to think about what happened to get you off track. I am really talking about what it takes to endure, to respect, to come together, to understand, to have compassion, to really hold that bond together. Things fall apart over time. They do. People grow apart, but why are you growing apart? What is happening to make you grow apart? What is what is dimming your fire? What is really going on? A lot of people are in relationships and it's like so mundane. It's like the same thing day in, day out. You go to work, you pick up the kids, you eat dinner, you talk about your day, and that's it. That passion and that fire and that, what we're going to do for our future and how we're going to take on the world together. A lot of that is gone. And a lot of things happen for that to leave the relationship. You say, well, JR, you said that you're not a relationship expert and you're not a psychologist. And no, I do not claim to have the answers to fix relationships. But, I always speak from my experience. I wrote about them in my first book, The Waiting Game. I wrote that book in 2015. I wrote about my experiences because at that time, I did not know myself. I did not go into relationships 100% whole. I had a lot of baggage. And I was expecting for someone else to deal with that baggage and to deal with me. And then they're dealing with their own baggage, their own drama. And I just went into relationships not understanding what I was doing, why I was doing it, and what was the connection and why. I would listen, be honest with you, I was just bouncing around, knocking boots, doing what I do, and that was it. Until I really started the process of getting to know me, who I am, what I wanted, and what I didn't want. And then I really started to work on me. And that was the only way that I could understand how I can open the door to welcome in the foundation of what it means to really start the foundation for an intimate, long-lasting relationship. Are you jumping in the sheets too quickly? Is it only physical? Is it only chemical? And I'm not talking about people, side chicks, and people that are creeping and doing all these things that you know that you have no business doing, that's breaking down the relationship that you have at home. I am talking to the two people who are looking at each other across the hall, across the floor, across the dinner table, happen to bump into each other on MTA. Those chance meetings at a cafe, at dinner, a friend introduces you, you meet at a party, you change numbers, you're both single, you don't have anyone in your life, you're not creeping, you're not cheating, you're not trying to be somebody's side piece. And you start to build, you call, you text, and you start to build the foundations of what you think and what you hope could be a long-lasting, intimate relationship. Well, that takes time. You shouldn't be in a hurry. You shouldn't be in a rush. There should be a lot of talking. There should be a lot of dating. Hitting those sheets too fast, people, that's what people do. And then it becomes physical. Then it becomes boring. Then it becomes a Netflix and chill. And there is no romance. There is no talking. There is no knowing each other. It takes a lifetime, yes, to get to know a person because people keep evolving and people keep changing. But the way I see it, in order to keep a relationship fresh, new, going, both parties have to be willing to work at it. One person can't be the one that's doing all the doing and the other person is reaping the benefits of that doing. That's a one-sided relationship and there's no balance there. I think one of the most important questions that a person could ask themselves or a couple could ask themselves, why are we doing this? Why are we really doing this? What do we really want out of this that we're trying to start, the foundation that we are trying to start? Some people say, let's ride this out and see where it's going. I'm not riding nothing out and I'm not going to see where anything is going. I want a day by day, month by month, week by week, year by year, working on us and working on our relationship and working on the foundation. Let's agree to disagree. We're not going to always have the same thoughts, same opinions. It doesn't have to turn into an ugly screaming match. It doesn't have to turn into you slamming doors. It doesn't have to turn into you sleeping on the couch. Or the worst thing is you're cohabitating and he or she spends the night out. Why are we doing all these? Why is that? It's not helping the relationship. You're not facing up to what is supposed to be faced up in a relationship, and you're not working it out. It's time out for that. You know, you're looking at Facebook, and you're looking at social media, you're looking at Hollywood, and you're looking at these so-called ideal relationships. And behind closed doors, you can see, because it's playing out in public, everything is broken. Everything is broken. What happened to the foundation of establishing that relationship? You cannot build a relationship like you build a bear. There is no picking something off a shelf and putting it on and making adjustments. The adjustments are made as you go along. And people should be really open and honest. People say, I'm not going to tell everything. I'm not going to trust this person. That's what's happening. We have a lot of people going into relationship with trust issues because of the damage that was done to them previously. Me, I'm going to be open. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to tell you how I am, what my expectations are, what I am like. For example, I don't like to be woke up early in the morning when I don't have to go to work the next day. No one's sleeping over at my house. We're not doing that. We're going to date, but you're not sleeping over at my house. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to start bad patterns that get us stuck in a rut. You see, that's what I mean by being open, being upfront, and being honest. And listen, if someone doesn't understand your boundaries and your standards and the things that you say you will do and that you won't do, that's okay. Mm-mm. No, don't be foolish like me. Read my game read my book, The Waiting Game. Don't give up. Don't give in. Don't bend. Because when you do, what happens is you start giving pieces of yourself away, and then you start feeling uncomfortable because you have made these standards, set these boundaries, draw the line, set these limitations, and that's okay for yourself, to safeguard you, to keep yourself safe. And then you start giving inch by inch by inch because you listen to that little sweet talk, or you listen to someone says, oh, you act like you haven't been around the block a couple of times. So what? And so has he, she, them, or they been around the block a couple of times. You know, relationships are not, as I see and as I observe, no one is taking it as it is serious business. It is serious business. It is two hearts, two souls, even though you have individual people, but it's two hearts, two souls, two minds. You know, and even though your hearts beat separately, you have separate ideas, you feel separate about things, but it is the coming together. What is it that's bringing you together? And let's not talk about that physical chemistry. What really is it about she, him, they, we, whatever pronouns people are using these days, that has attracted you to that person, that has made you make up in your mind that I wanna ride and die with this person. If you're really serious about that, think about it. What about that person? And let's not start that because what they bring to the table. Listen, leave the table out of this. Because all those cliches and all those relationship myths, listen, build the table together. That's what you do. Leave her table alone. You leave his table alone. Y'all come together. Build your own table together. How about that? All that what you bring to the table. What are you bringing? I'm bringing me a whole 100% emotionally available, financially stable, willing to be in a relationship, opening to be in a monogamous relationship, willing to be honest with you, communicate with you, and tell you the truth. That's what I'm bringing. But I'm bringing it to you. I ain't bringing it to no table. Listen, until next time, this is Conversations with JR. All I want to do is have some conversations with you, dialogue with you, and help heal people one conversation at a time. Don't forget to go to my YouTube channel, like, share. Listen, there's a lot of videos on there about different relationship topics. I hope you enjoy your day, and the next conversation that you have with you, it should definitely be with yourself. Thank you for watching. Until the next time.